prepping this computer for gaming on 4 gigs of RAM so I can put the graphics card to the test, because I may have taken a gig of RAM out, so I can still have 24 gigs in that machine. For the regulars on my channel, my SR2 got a RAM downgrade. The ECC RAM wasn't very stable and I couldn't overclock. So I'm back to my, I got my XMS3 RAM over here, and I got my, my high-end Dominator RAM over here. So I'm back to 4.2 gigahertz instead of 1.5. Also, I don't know what the hell I did with my overclocking this time, but my RAM's running at 1600 megahertz, even the 1300 megahertz RAM. I've never done that before, and I did it by accident, and I'm kind of glad I did it. My score is above 30,000 in Geekbench now. So this graphics card is probably going to be the permanent residence of this computer, but there it is. Got my right angle adapter, got a 6-inch cable. I'm not using an internal monitor because I don't feel like it. And I do not have a permanent power supply for it yet. And I'm building a case for the computer this is actually going to go in. The HP server got my RAM. The HP server is going to come to life this weekend, hopefully. There's that cute little cable. Kind of wish that DVI adapter went the other way, but I can make it work. The right angle one. Since this is a video about a GPU repair success, I might as well show you the one I got before it, which was a failure. I had high hopes of this guy because of the cooler. But, yeah, it had a cut in the PCI Express pins. I didn't know that. I reflowed it, still didn't work. And then I blew up some capacitors reflowing it, and I tried running without them. And I blew up some smaller caps on the other side. So, yeah, this thing is going to shoot a fireball out of it next time I plug it in. That's the only reason I still have it. I'm going to put it in a junky computer and watch it burn down. And of course, I'm going to be keeping the cooler, and I'm going to keep the PCB, which I normally don't do, but I'm going to do because I usually end up having to scrap random capacitors when I have a card that needs recap. So for once, I'm going to have the real capacitors to go to the damn graphics cards instead of a bunch of random close value ones that get the job done. Because the capacitor is off by a few, like 20 or 30 microfarads. If it's like within 5% or 10% of the range, I'll do it. It usually works. A very good example is, say I need a 270 microfarad capacitor, and all I can find is 300s and 250s. I will use either a 300 or 250 and call it a day, and hasn't failed me yet. Fuck. That's how you play games. Eli, what the fuck are you talking about? You're spazzing out. No, that's a good idol. That's how I got away with this. So the computer case I'm building in general is going to be shaped like this. I might move the power supply around, I'm not sure. Gonna see if I can fit it anywhere that makes this fan not out of view. Because I have so much damn RAM in here that it'll overheat if it doesn't have air moving on it. So I'm going to cool the CPU and RAM off at the same time. And I need a bigger fan, so I got a bigger fan. This is the fan from a PlayStation 3, and this thing can push some damn air. So, yeah. And, but I would like to have a little fiberglass panel to show my little custom cooling, because I'm going to be using a Dremel, this, and some hot glue to make my little airflow system. And, yeah, this is going to work. But the one problem is I want to be able to see this, and my current plans involve the power supply being above it. I want to see if I can fit it anywhere else, but the case needs to be functional more than look pretty, so. Alright, now you're going to learn something. So if you ever got a PS3 fan, the pinout is brown is 12, black is ground, and PNW is gray, and the PNW works by there's basically a square wave being played with more on time than off time for higher speeds and more off time than on time than lower speeds, and that runs at 5 volts. So if you run around the fan at full speed, you can run it on 5 volts. This will work with just about any PNW fan, and it, I think my power supply actually couldn't keep up with the wattage it needed. This is a really low wattage power supply, but damn, it just went to protect. Okay, we are running again. This fan does not have its airflow directed anywhere, and it is fucking violent how much air it's putting out. Imagine this directed in put this in one direction. You could fucking overclock shit with a fan like this and those coolers I have. Kind of sucks when you have two L5506s on a non-overclockable motherboard in that system, because this fan kicks all kinds of ass. It'll very easily cool off the RAM and CPU. In fact, it'll never reach these speeds. So it's not screwed in. Let's see what'll happen. That's how much damn wind it's pushing out of it.